royalty soaps. As you can see from the title, I am sharing with you today my top 10 fragrance oil picks of all time. Now, granted, I have tried so many fragrance oils, I think it would be literally impossible for me to actually tell you my top 10 fragrances of all time. I love absolutely loads of them, but the ones that I've picked today are the most versatile. Meaning if you're a beginner, if you're an intermediate, if you're an advanced, these fragrance oils in cold process soap, in melt and pour, and sort of across the board are very, very versatile, and they're very, very easy to use. They're not finicky, they're not going to do weird things to you in your cold process soap, they're not going to turn your soaps funky colors and stuff. I mean, actually, there are a couple of them that will slightly discolor, but not very much. So they're just going to be sort of easy to use. And then after that, I'm going to give you some of my top 5 essential gifts for the soap making person. So if you have a soap maker or a bath and body crafter in your life, these are the kind of things they're going to want to receive from you for Christmas if you're going to try to go with a soap making or a bath and body crafting theme. Or maybe you just need to buy yourself a present. Come on now, we all buy ourselves presents. I think it's a very good habit to be in. So I'm just trying to situate myself. Look at my socks. They're cats. Can you see them? See my cat socks? That's probably a little immodest because I'm in a skirt, but oh well, you couldn't see anything. Neener, neener. So my first fragrance that I really, really love is called Bite Me, and it's by Nature's Garden Candles, which from this point onward, we are just calling NGC because it is a lot easier. This is an extremely fruity fragrance. It is like Hawaiian fruit punch, like a dead ringer for fruit punch. It is awesome. It holds exceptionally well in cold processed soap. Very, very strong fragrance, lasts a long time. It doesn't seize, doesn't accelerate. It discolors slightly. It sort of goes, if you have a very, very white soap, it'll sort of go to a cream color, but not very much. My number 2 is Love Spell by NGC. And actually lots and lots and lots of different companies do a Love Spell. I just like their version the best. In cold process soap, it actually decelerates trace. So if you have sort of a thicker soap, when you put this in, it'll sort of thin it down a little bit. So it's really good if you want to do like a tiger stripe or any sort of very intricate swirling. This is a great fragrance oil that's not going to seize up on you even when you're doing high temperatures. Number 3 is Pineapple Cilantro from Brambleberry. This is I never can keep in stock. Whenever I stock my pineapple cilantro soap, I can never stay in stock because everybody loves it so much. It really does smell like pineapples and cilantro. That pineapple smell really holds well, and it doesn't discolor, which is a plus. Next is Champagne from Brambleberry. This is like, every time I think about this, I always marvel at the fact that a smell can be effervescent. Like, you smell champagne, you smell Sprite, you smell ginger ale, all those things that are very bubbly and sort of have just a tiny bit of lemon lime in there. That's what this smells like. It smells bubbly, which is crazy, and I'm sure that those of y'all who haven't smelled it are kind of looking at me like, what is she talking about? But I'm not lying to you, it really does smell bubbly. And what's really strange is that it holds that bubbly smell even through a cold process soap phase. It also smells really good in melt and pour, and it smells very, very good in sugar scrubs. This next one, oh gracious, if you haven't tried this, you need to. It is Fresh Baked Pie Crust from Peak Candles. I'm at a loss for words. It's so excellent, and it does smell exactly like fresh baked pie crust. It's absolutely crazy. It is one of my favorites. I always have like 16-ounce bottles of it. Then we have Black Raspberry Vanilla from Wholesale Supplies Plus. Again, pretty much every fragrance oil supplier ever is going to have Black Raspberry Vanilla, but I like theirs the best because I think it has a little bit more of a fruity note. Some of the other suppliers that I've tried had sort of like this very, very, I don't want to say funny because I don't want to turn y'all off to it if y'all have like a different opinion or something, but to me, it smells like somebody broke a leaf in half, like a fresh leaf, and then they made you smell it. I mean, I know that sort of green base note sort of comes through things. Sometimes it'll be a very airy, light top note, but I don't really like that very much. I think it smells kind of funny. So anyway, Wholesale Supplies Plus Plus, their black raspberry vanilla doesn't really have that sort of strange little broken leaf smell in it. I'm sure that sounds just absolutely ridiculous, but it's true. Energy from Brambleberry. That's the one that smells like gummy sweet tarts. I'm not kidding. Like, it took my mother and I forever to figure out what that smell was. We just kept smelling it going, I've smelled this before, oh my gosh, I've smelled this before. And we couldn't figure it out, and finally it just clicked with me. And I remember that as a kid, at Easter one time, I opened up an Easter egg and it had a little package of the sweet tart gummies in there, and they were like little Easter eggs and like little bunnies or something. And I ate them, and that taste is what keeps triggering in my head, like firing every time I smell that. So yeah, gummy sweet tarts, and it is scrumptious. Cucumber Melon from Wholesale Supplies Plus. Smells exactly like Cucumber Melon from Bath & Body Works. I mean, exactly. I think Cucumber Melon is sort of a general smell that if you don't know what to make, that's kind of a good one to go with. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you're getting presents and stuff for people and say everyone gets a hand soap, doesn't it seem that Cucumber Melon always makes its way in there because it's just sort of like, it's sort of the thing to go to get when you don't know what to get because there's not a lot of people that don't like it. The specific fragrance oil from Wholesale Supplies Plus also does very, very well in cold process soap. I have had 2 different Cucumber Melons that have seized within an inch of their life in cold process soap. I mean, glug, glug, glug. Oh, soap on a stick. Well, I don't know what to do with this batch. I guess I'll just put it in a crock pot and hot process it because I stirred it for 4 seconds and now I can't take my spoon out. That type of seething. Then we have Apricot from Nurture Soap, and that fragrance oil also very much decelerates trace. It smells delicious. Now, some people would say it was apricot. I think it smells a little peachy to me. Like, I don't know if there are a lot of people that can really discern the difference between an apricot smell and a peach smell when they're just like a single note fragrance oil. I think they sort of smell similar. That's just a personal thing. And last but certainly not least is Caramel Coffee from Nurture Soap. That is a lovely coffee scent. I have smelled lots of different coffee scents because I sort of got into that when it was fall, winter time. I personally don't drink coffee myself. I only drink tea, but I love the smell of it. So I had lots of different suppliers that I ordered little samples bottles from and all this sort of stuff, and I really liked the caramel with the coffee. Straight coffee in a fragrance oil smells very bitter. Now if you like that, awesome, but I like to have a little pudding in my coffee. So the caramel really sort of mellows that out a little bit. It smells almost steamy. It smells warm, and that's really, really great. So if you're looking for a good coffee scent, try that one out, see if you like it. So those are my top 10 fragrance oils that I would suggest for pretty much anybody. The 2 that discolor just slightly are the Bite Me from NGC and the Caramel Coffee, that very last one that I just mentioned from Nurture Soap. That was just a very, very, very light brown. You would think that that would go really, really dark, but I don't think it has a lot of vanillin in it, so it only has a little bit of light brown in it. Also, the Fresh Baked Pie Crust. It will discolor. Mine only discolored slightly, so actually I guess that would be 3 fragrance oils. Mine only discolored slightly because I used a lot of titanium dioxide. However, if you're not planning on using titanium dioxide, or you can't use a lot of it because your recipe won't allow for it, it will probably discolor. So that also goes for melt and pour, that goes for bath bombs and stuff. Just be aware of that. It's totally worth it though. It's totally worth it. Moving on to the gift guide. Again, if you have a soap maker, a bath and beauty crafter in your life, these are some things you might consider getting them. The first on my list here is the 1 ounce fragrance oil sampler from Peak Candle Supplies. You can get 10 different fragrances for like $21, I think. And you get to pick all of them, so you can go through all of their fragrances and pick out what you like. I really like that. Lots of different companies do samplers, but I really like the one from Peak. I've tried lots of different samplers, but that one's my favorite. They have really, really high quality oils. If the person that you're buying for is a soap maker, make sure that the ones that you pick are skin safe or body safe. You don't want to get ones that are only good for candles, say. And of course, as always, I will be leaving links to all of this stuff below, so if you're like, oh my gosh, I really need that, well, I'll have a handy link down there for you. Number 2, and this is something you can get at Kroger and you can get at Walmart or any other drugstore if you're not in America. And this is gonna sound really strange, but these little plastic shot glasses, and this would probably need to be in lieu with some other gifts, because if you just walk up to somebody and it's like, here, have some shot glasses. I don't know what they would think you were insinuating with that, but it might not be so great. These things I use all the time. And as an example, some of the things I use them for is I put salt in here with mica and then I shake it up, so that all of the mica is now all over the salt, which makes colored salt so that I can sprinkle them on top of soaps or bath cupcakes or things like that. Also, I put mica in here and mix it with oil, so when I'm going to do a mica drizzle on top of the soap or on top of, I don't know what else I would use a mica drizzle for, but something else. Also, you can mix it with alcohol and paint the top of your bath bomb. So anyways, these are super handy to have, and I use them pretty much every single time I make soap. Also, embed molds. Embed molds are awesome because you can put embeds in melt and pour soap, you can put embeds on top of bath cupcakes, you can put embeds in bath bombs, you can put embeds on top of cold processed soap. You can use embeds for a lot of different things. Even if you don't like making high top cold processed soap, you can still put them on the top of your bars, or you can put them on the inside and slice through. So, some of my favorite suppliers for embed molds are down below, including Vanulay, which I always think I'm pronouncing wrong, but they're the silicone molds, which honestly are the best. If you're looking for like the best type of mold to buy that person you love, silicone molds are the way to go, because you can take out that melt and pour, or even wax. You know, lots of people use it for little wax melt things that they can, you know, put in burners or even on top of their little jar candles or whatever, and they have really quick release. Now I'm just gonna put a little shameless plug in there and say, for your gift guide, you might want to consider picking up my piping set from Nurture Soap Supplies. This has 3 really big 1-ounce jars of mica and then 3 little 5-gram jars of mica, and it has piping tips and all sorts of stuff in there. It's all stuff that I've handpicked. Very good for the intermediate to advanced soap maker. And of course, I have included my piping recipe. Yes, the piping recipe that I use in all of my most recent videos of me piping the tops of soap. That recipe is included, and also a base soap recipe. So I hook you all up with the recipes and all the materials to get it done. And then I also have exclusive video tutorials for the Royalty Soaps piping set customers. So if you'd like to go pick up one of those, of course there will be a link in the description box below. Gift cards! Can you ever go wrong with gift cards? Pretty much all of the suppliers that I have listed thus far have gift card options. I know Brambleberry does, I think Wholesale Supplies Plus does, I'm not entirely sure. I do believe Peak has them as well. So anybody that has gift cards, that's a great thing to do, because if you don't know exactly what to get, I guarantee you that the soap making / bath and body crafter in your life is going to be completely touched by you trying to support them and help them grow in their craft by a gift card. And finally, the most versatile loaf mold that I have found yet, which is the Brambleberry 5-pound wooden loaf mold with a sliding bottom. I use it all the time. I've had them for years. Anybody who's like, what should I start out with? I'd like to make loaves of soap now, but I don't know which one to get. I don't know. That's the most budget friendly. It's the most easy to clean, in my opinion, especially if you get the silicone liner, which just get the silicone liner. I absolutely love that mold so much. So there you have it, my gift guide for all things crafty and bath and beauty related. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy holidays! I hope you're enjoying your Christmas season, and I hope I will see you all soon. So until next time, you have a royal day, happy holidays, and bye for now!